Welcome to my channel. Today we will go back to the zoo. The lion had been pacing in its enclosure all day, roaring ferociously. Nobody dared to come close to the cage, least of all the zoo's night watchmen. But in the dead of night, while everyone was asleep, the big cat managed to slip out of its enclosure. How? We don't know. Perhaps it managed to push open the gate with its paw, or perhaps it simply jumped over the fence. The most important thing was that the lion was now on the loose, and there were people nearby. Were sleeping just a few meters away from its enclosure. One of them was a little boy who slept right next to the lion's enclosure. His name was Timmy. He was only 6 years old, and he didn't even realize that the beast that lived in the enclosure next door had managed to get out. If the lion had managed to get into the enclosure where the little boy slept, it would have undoubtedly torn him to pieces. Fortunately for Timmy, his life was saved by an unexpected hero, Sue's patrol dog, who woke up first. Its name was Rex, and it immediately noticed that something was wrong. You see, every night the dog patrolled the entire zoo and made sure everything was all right. But tonight, something was definitely wrong. Someone was moving around outside the enclosures, and it wasn't any of the zoo staff members. The dog immediately barked loudly and tried to make sense of what was going on. At first, the dog couldn't believe its eyes. There was a huge lion walking around outside its enclosure. But then the dog realized that the lion could pose a serious threat to the visitors, especially to the children. So without hesitation, Rex immediately ran over to the lion. Dog bravely tried to drive the beast away, but the lion wasn't too keen on leaving. So they started circling each other. The dog never took its eyes off the predator. It was clear that this conflict could end badly for both the lion and the dog. But at that moment, they both knew that they couldn't retreat. And although the dog was much smaller than the lion, it still managed to attack the predator first. And if the dog hadn't done so, the lion would have certainly attacked it. But as soon as the dog got closer, the lion suddenly let out a loud roar and swiped at the dog with its paw. Although the animal's blow was very strong, the dog managed to dodge it. And when the lion wasn't paying attention, the dog bit its nose. The lion howled in pain and anger. It tried to bite the dog, but it only managed to snap its jaws right next to the dog's ear. Otherwise, the dog would have been seriously injured. But after a couple more minutes, the brave dog managed to drive the lion back to its enclosure. All this time, the lion had no intention of really hurting the dog. It just wanted to scare it away. But seeing that the dog was a persistent opponent, the lion decided to return to its enclosure. After all, the main thing was not to seem cowardly in the eyes of other animals. Once the lion got back into its enclosure, the dog kept circling it until morning. It didn't let the beast leave its enclosure. When the first rays of sunlight finally hit the cages, the dog went to check on the little boy. The kid was still fast asleep and didn't realize that he'd had such a narrow escape. When the boy's parents came to take him to the zoo, they thanked the dog and the zoo staff for saving their son. They couldn't believe that a lion had actually escaped from its enclosure. Zoo management said that this was the first such case in the history of the zoo. They checked all the enclosures and made sure that there were no other predators that could also pose a threat to visitors. See. As for the lion, it spent several days in its enclosure, refusing to eat or drink anything. Obviously, the animal was very upset about what had happened. Later, the vet decided to let the lion out into the enclosure where it had previously escaped. This was done in order to calm the animal down a bit and stop it from pacing restlessly in its cage. But under the supervision of several zoo employees, the lion didn't cause any trouble, and now it lives in its enclosure next to the one where the little boy sleeps. We can only hope that the lion has learned its lesson and won't try to escape again. As for the dog, it was given a prize for its bravery. The dog was also praised by all the zoo employees who were proud of their four-legged colleague. Thanks for watching. I wonder what kind of animal would you like to see in the next episode? Write your ideas in the comments. See you later.